Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Joel Russell, and he's going to get into the old school sales.
I'd like to thank Courtney and the members of Assist for inviting us here today to make a presentation. Um, First off, I want to say everything that Wendy said is exactly correct. It is the digital age, and all of those devices and programs need to be implemented to keep you up to speed with your competition. So, with that in mind, we're going to step off and step back a little bit to the old, what I call old school sales. First off, no one is ever going to buy anything from you until they've heard your name 5 times. Now, that's an old advertising adage that has been around well before television, probably before radio, but it's still true today. You have to let the customer know who you are and what you do. So, what now? Where do we go from here? You're scratching your head, you're thinking, well, okay, I can do that. The first thing you have to do is research your prospects. You have to identify who is a user of security guard service. What kind of a company are they? What's their company type? What industry are they in? What's the company size? And what is the job description and the title of the person at that company who is going to be the buyer or make the decision for hiring a security guard company? Real quick, users are always going to be companies where they're using security service already. Security guard services, they're there. One of your competitors is there. 99% of the business that you get in the lifetime of your company will be business that you took away from somebody else. Company types, you got different industries, hospitals, hotels, manufacturing facilities. All of these have a different SIC code, and you can identify them by those company types. Company size is also important. Just because IBM has a facility in your location, if they've only got 20 employees there, you're probably going to waste your time calling. And this is the big click for all security guard companies. And I think probably all you people out there know that. There is no one single title of the person who makes decisions to buy security guard service. And this is what really causes us to do a lot of double research on companies, because in some places it'll be a security manager, and some companies it'll be the HR manager or the facilities manager or the property manager. There's dozens of titles that we have to deal with. So if you're trying to buy a list, you can't just hone in on one particular job title. You have to be able to do the research to get it in the right box. Now, this is where, if you haven't already, I highly recommend that you do this. Get a Salesforce.com account. Now, Salesforce.com is the simplest and easiest and cleanest way to maintain your database. Your database is all the information that you collect on your known users, the prospects that you're going to be trying to obtain as clients. Okay? This information, their email, their phone, their names, their company, all this information is kept in the database. You can schedule for the next time you want to meet with that person or the next time you want to call. Also, too, with Salesforce, it's got an email and a direct mail where you can generate activity right out of the Salesforce account at your prospects. Of course, you know, you're going to log telephone calls too, because you are still going to use the phone. I don't care what anybody says, the phone still works. It has to. When you're selling a product and a service like we do, and we're selling an average guard account, $200,000 a year is the budget on that. I mean, if it's a 168, that's an easy $200,000 purchased by that company. They're not going to take that purchase lightly. They're not going to order it over the phone. It is not an Amazon gift. They're going to do research, and they will do research on you too. They want to make sure you're a legitimate company, that you've got experience, that you know what you're talking about. That's part of your presentation. That's part of your relationship building with those people. Okay. Because our goal is to get there and get in front of them. Get in front of them. Now, one
Hey,
of the
so
we
Joe,
can,
hey, Joe, I know a lot of companies out here using Microsoft Outlook and Microsoft Excel as a CRM. What are your thoughts?
well, those programs were really not designed for CRM. You know, a CRM is a customer relations management program. So Salesforce has that built into it. And I don't work for Salesforce, and I'm not trying to sell the product. I'm just telling you what I know works well for me. And Salesforce works exceptionally well. I have multiple clients around the country. I always get them on Salesforce, and they use it not only in the sales department, but also in the opportunities and also in the accounts, so they can keep all their information from birth to death on Salesforce. One of the nicest aspects of Salesforce is that it has an email tracker built into it. So if I'm a salesperson for your security company and I'm sending out emails to potential clients, I'm looking for openings. Now, this page didn't come out very clear, but over on the far right, you can see some numbers over here. And those numbers indicate the number of times that email was opened. If I send out 50 emails a day and I have 20 openings, guess who I'm going to call first? I'm going to call the guys that opened it 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, because they're looking at my advertisement. It's fresh in their mind, and they may have passed it on to somebody else in their staff who may be the person who's really in charge of operating the security guard service. So this kind of information is worth its weight in gold to a security guard owner or your department salespeople. This is, you've got 20 people you can contact that already knows your company name. They already saw something about you. It's fresh in their mind. Jump on it. Don't just let it lie there. From making those contacts with those people and those potential prospects, we want to set an appointment. You want to get in front of the buyer. You want to research them before you get there, but you want to listen to their problems, listen to their pain. Okay, people won't tell you honestly things on the phone, but when you get into a private office with them, they'll tell you everything. They'll tell you all the evil that their current security has inflicted upon them and what it is that they really want. Listen 70% of the time. You don't have to go there and sell them on you're the greatest thing since sliced bread in the security guard industry. You're there to listen. They already know that you're a professional, or they would have never allowed you to come in and see them. One thing you need to think about for your companies is developing an innovative offering. What is it that makes you special? What is it that makes your company stand out from the rest? Okay. Now, you can't say we're the biggest, we're the best, we're the fastest. Oh no. Your competitors at Garda, Securitas, and G4S, they're already out there telling them they're the biggest and the best in the world. Okay. You have to be the biggest and the best locally or regionally. And this is one place I just want to mention to you. It's not really sales, but it is. It's the customer service aspect. You, the local owners and operators, you always can beat the nationals or the internationals at customer service if you apply yourself. They are not good at it. They treat their customers mostly as numbers, and you are the local or regional guy who's been there for 5, 10, 15 years. Just a quick story. In a 25-year span in Dallas, one of the large National Guard companies here had 24 branch managers. Okay, now I know that for a fact because I used to follow them. And every time they changed branch managers, guess who I was going to call? I was going to call their clients. It makes sense. People like to deal with the same people. They don't want that change in there jumping up and knocking over their apple cart every Monday morning. Also, too, you're the security professional. You're the one that knows how to operate a guard force. You're the one that knows how to hire, train, develop post orders, and make a company shine and make your company shine for them. They're not, 90% of the people that we deal with as clients in this industry don't know very much about security. They know they need it. Their boss told them so. But they don't know much because their job is something totally different. Okay. So everything you say, they look at it like it's gospel. So be gospel, be a professional, and you'll be happy. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about price because everybody has their own advent on price. But know the market that you're working in. You have to research the market. When you request bill rate and budget from the prospect, you get in front of them, ask them what their budget is. Don't be afraid, just ask them. Okay. Also ask them what the current pay grades of the officers of the service they're currently using. Sometimes you might get a big surprise. Okay. And then understand that you have to develop a labor versus billing methodology that works for your company. But I can tell you right now, anybody who's at a 60% split is going to be in pretty good shape. So if I pay my officers 15 and I'm billing that customer $25 an hour, my bill rate's 60%. Okay. And then once you've got all this information amassed and you're ready to get that proposal and put it together in that nice professional binder and take it there and deliver it to the customer, now you're ready. Okay. So, always request the opportunity to make a presentation. Even if they don't want a presentation, still ask if you can do it. Now, you can easily develop a quick presentation on a PowerPoint, 10 or 12 slides. Basically it just copies from your proposal documents and you can run through that with the client. If they don't want to do that, make sure that you want to deliver this proposal in person. You're not going to send this through the email. I don't care what they tell you. Ask for the appointment again to take that proposal to deliver it to them in person. At least give them the opportunity to open it up and go through. And that's when you've got them. They're looking at the price. They're always going to turn to that section first. That's what I've seen 100 of them do. And then they may have some legitimate questions. Okay. Where's your COI, your certificate of insurance? Can you give me any more references than the ones that you supplied me with, et cetera? Whatever they're interested in, answer those questions right there for them and fix it. Now you've got them where you can ask for the sale. Now, I know they're going to probably tell you, well, I have to show this to so-and-so and so-and-so, and we have to have more input before we can make a decision. But that doesn't stop you from looking him dead in the eye and saying, Mr. Client, I want your business, and our company will take care of you. And I'm here to tell you that I'm going to take care of you. When you say that to them, face-to-face, man-to-man, there's no piece of paper in the world that can break that mold. So that's one power that you have, but you don't utilize it if you're sending it to them in an email. You got to get up and take it out there and see them. After the proposal's delivered, well, you just don't forget about it and go home and have a cocktail. Send them a thank you letter. And let me say this, okay? Email is nice, but a personalized card in the U.S. mail, if you can depend on it to get it there, the U.S. mail, sending a personalized card is the way to go. People think you took the time. It means something to them. You can put a little note in there, and that really can help you cement a deal. Also, if it's not cemented yet, you got to keep following up. Don't ever quit following up. When they finally get to the point where they said, well, we selected somebody else, that's not the end of the world. Okay? There's plenty of things you can say at that point too. I mean, I used to always say, well, Mr. Smith, I'm glad you selected somebody. I hope you're going to be happy with them. But in the event that you don't, you can call on me and I'll be here. Okay? Then continue to follow up. Send them emails, send them letters, send them other advertising. Someday down the road, they're going to wake up and say, whoa, we made a mistake, or we hired the wrong company, or we're not getting the service that we expected. You want to be there so you can move right in behind it. And that's the end of my presentation, and I hope everybody picked up a little bit from it. And I really appreciate the time.
All right, thanks Wendy and Joe for taking us through your portion of the presentation. I think the information that you provided was absolutely critical. And again, getting back to the point of the presentation, it wasn't to give everybody all the information that they needed to go out and become super salespeople or super marketing people. What we wanted to provide you were some actionable steps that you could walk away with. And with that being said, if you have questions, we will be around for a little while answering those. And if we can't get to your question, please feel free to reach out to us. I've posted all of our contact information here. If you scan the QR code, you'll be able to automatically pull our contact information over into your smartphones. So I'll open up the floor now for questions.